Typesoul just dropped one of its craziest updates to date, and it changes pretty much everything about the game. From the new health system and true forms to the Fullbringers, crafting, soul vows, and massive balance changes, this is not your average patch. Let's break it all down. The Hellverse, it's completely brand new, and like we've gotten bits and pieces of it from honestly the beginning before they even closed the game. But what was added is Hell is now a high-risk PvP zone. You get a soul wisp that acts as your lives. Die to a player in Hell, lose a life. Lose all lives, you're locked in purgatory. To escape, fight yourself. You have to beat a clone of yourself to get your life back. And every time you do and win, it doubles. One clone, then two, then three. Or no. One clone, then two, and then four. It doubles. So 4 to 8, and then so on and so forth. You can buy a revive or use an in-game method to get out without fighting. And you can kill mobs in Hell to regain your lives, which is pretty cool. They also added new game modes. The Culling games and Battle Royales are on a rotation, each with their own rewards and battle pass. Soul Wars is a new PvP mode using characters from the Type Soul universe. Ranked and Clan Wars are now merged with formats from 1v1s to 6v6 and loot on every win. They also added a crafting system. It's a brand new system. They've described it as a Minecraft style of crafting. It is a 3x3 grid. Place the right materials in the correct layout to craft skills, accessory, and or artifacts. The Fullbringer race was also added. Everyone gets a free Fullbringer slot, which is awesome, from the Type Soul crew. It has unique second form trials, 6 different abilities including Zangetsu, Dollhouse, and Book of the End, and Fullbringer specification clans, passive, and Keto included. Now, personally, I'm kind of confused about Zangetsu also being a Fullbringer ability, but I think it's pretty interesting, and I think I might go for that myself. But let's continue. Soul Vows. These are new passive systems that let you sacrifice something to gain a powerful buff. For example, Vow of Potential starts weak, power up as the fight keeps going on. Vow of Fist. It's a Hakuda-only vow, but it has an inner gate mode. Vow of Luck. Random buffs or debuffs mid-fight. And the Vow of Sacrifice. Spirit Clone follows up your moves, which sounds like the best one in my opinion. Medic rework. Medic got completely overhauled. It has around 10 plus new moves like Organ Displacement, Medical Rods, Doctor Accomplice, and more. Now, it also now has a utility and support potential like never before. I'm kind of nervous that it's overhyped though. So, I mean, let's just be a little iffy on that and just talk about how we think it could be good and not put too much faith into it. They also added True Forms, which is something that the community has been rooting for a long time. They've added True Shikai, True Shigunda, and True Sklekveri. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I'm not sure. I haven't really watched the show or even heard it in a minute. To activate the second form, use Control J, like always. Each race has a true form with different playstyles. Shinigami's have domains, Arankar have environmental/area control, and Quincy's have gimmicks or advantages. Balances and clans. All races are nerfed to 3% passive Reiatsu regen. Quincy's no healing from Let's Deal. Cybernetics conflict with Let's, so you can only have one or the other. So if you have a cybernetic box, you no longer get Let's, and if you have Let's, you no longer get your cybernetic box. Soul Reapers have less visored healing. It went from 50% healing to 15% healing. Arankars have the best defense in the game, but they only have one partial move set now, which is probably a huge downside and might make people honestly delete their Arankar slots. Clans now give specific stats and passives as well, and accessories no longer give array regen. So, I think accessories might be useless now. I'm not too sure. It honestly doesn't sound like it's going to be too helpful. They also added a couple of new areas: the Maze, Library, Hell Rings, Purgatory, which we've kind of talked about with the Hell update. They've added completely an overhaul for Katakura Town. The AFK world now drops rerolls, cosmetics, and Hogyoku fragments, which is a huge buff considering that it barely did any of that, honestly. They've added new bosses like Yoruichi, Virgil, Bamboo Hat Min. They've added the Holy Sword Excalibur. It's a Quincy-only exclusive weapon. And they added Devil Trigger, a noob sub-mode alternative. Devil Trigger now obtainable. That will replace your sub-mode, upgrading your Yamato crit while you're in the form, Soul Reapers, Judgment Cut, Arankar, Judgment Cut in, and Quincy auto-tracking sword stuff. So that's pretty interesting in my opinion. Next up, we have the loot system changes. All game modes now have unique loot pools. You can't get every item everywhere anymore, which kind of sucks. And bosses only drop boss-specific loot now. So if the fear were to drop like a certain cosmetic, you couldn't get it anywhere from the fear. Honestly, this update is pretty cool. I think it is pushing the game towards something more competitive, skill-based, and honestly, it's pretty customizable. There's never been a better time to jump in and try this game. So if you're hesitant on playing Type Soul, this would be a perfect time to actually play the game. If you're hopping back in after a long time, I wouldn't give it too much expectation, because some of the stuff sounds overhyped in my opinion, honestly. I mean, when was the last time we've had a good medic buff or debuff or anything of the sort? But I mean, yeah, I've been Zooka Zero, and I honestly do hope you enjoy. This is pretty exciting.